We stand at a remarkable moment in human history. It is a quiet dawn, not marked by trumpets or grand parades, but by the soft glow of scientific discovery. This is the beginning of a new energy era. For millennia, our species looked to the sun for warmth and light, for the rhythm of our days and the growth of our food. We were children of the sun, yet we never truly learned how to harness its immense power. Instead, we dug deep into the earth, unearthing the compressed remains of ancient life. We burned these fossil fuels to power our civilizations, filling our skies with the ghosts of a bygone world, and altering the delicate climate of our only home in the cosmos. But that story is changing. Science, our greatest tool for understanding the universe, has given us a new path forward. We are on the cusp of what we might call Solar 3.0, a revolution that promises to transform our relationship with our parent star. This is not just about making better solar panels, it is about fundamentally reimagining how we power our lives, our homes, our cities, and our dreams. It is a story of human ingenuity, of our relentless quest to solve the grand challenges we face. The challenge of providing clean, abundant energy for every person on this planet is perhaps the greatest of our time. This transition is as profound as the shift from horse-drawn carriages to automobiles or from carrier pigeons to the internet. We are moving from an age of scarcity, where energy was a finite resource to be fought over, to an age of abundance where the power we need falls freely from the sky. Imagine a world where your roof generates more energy than your family consumes, where cars run on liquid sunshine, and where entire cities shimmer with self-sustaining power. This is not a distant science fiction fantasy. It is the tangible future being built in laboratories and factories around the world today. A future powered by the same star that has nourished life on Earth for billions of years. The journey to this future has been long. The first solar cells, born in the mid-20th century, were a marvel of their time, but they were inefficient and incredibly expensive. They were good enough for satellites in space, but not for the sprawling energy needs of Earth. The next generation, the silicon panels we see today, brought solar power down to Earth, making it a viable, growing part of our energy mix. But even these have their limits. Now we are ready for the next great leap, a leap that could finally unlock the full promise of the sun and set our civilization on a sustainable course through the cosmos. Look up. That brilliant star in our sky, the sun, is a colossal nuclear furnace. It is 93 million miles away, yet its energy travels across the vast emptiness of space to warm our world, drive our weather, and make life itself possible. Every second, the sun converts about 4 million tons of matter into pure energy, unleashing a torrent of light and heat into the solar system. The amount of solar energy that strikes the Earth in a single hour is more than all the energy humanity consumes in an entire year. Think about that. An hour of sunlight holds more power than all our coal, oil, and natural gas combined for a full year. This energy arrives as a free, democratic gift from the cosmos. It falls on deserts and oceans, on bustling cities and remote villages, on every corner of our planet. It asks for nothing in return. For most of our existence, we have let this incredible resource wash over us, largely unused. We built our world on fuels that are finite, dirty, and concentrated in the hands of a few. We created an energy system that is fundamentally at odds with the long-term health of our planetary home. The consequences of this choice are now clear, written in the patterns of our changing climate and the quality of the air we breathe. The sun offers us a way out. It is the ultimate source of clean, renewable power. Harnessing just a tiny fraction of its output could satisfy the energy needs of our entire global civilization many times over. There are no carbon emissions, no toxic pollutants, no geopolitical conflicts over fuel supplies. There is only the silent, steady, and stupendously powerful radiance of our local star. The challenge has never been a lack of energy. It has always been our ability to catch it, store it, and use it efficiently. We have been living next to an infinite ocean of power, equipped with only a thimble to collect it. So, how do we build a bigger bucket? The answer lies in technology. We need to create tools that can capture the sun's photons, those tiny packets of light energy, and convert them into the electrons that power our modern lives. This is the simple, elegant principle behind solar power. It is a direct conversion of starlight into electricity. As we get better at this conversion, as our technology becomes more sophisticated and efficient, we move closer to a future where our energy needs are met in harmony with the natural systems of our planet, a future powered by the clean fire of the stars. The story of solar power so far has been written in silicon. For decades, crystalline silicon has been the workhorse of the solar industry. Those familiar blue or black panels you see on rooftops and in vast solar farms are all based on this technology. Silicon is abundant. It's the second most common element in the Earth's crust, found in sand and quartz. It is stable and reliable, capable of producing electricity for 25 years or more. This technology, which we can call Solar 2.0, has been a tremendous success. It has driven down the cost of solar energy dramatically, making it competitive with fossil fuels in many parts of the world. However, silicon has its limitations. The process of making a silicon solar panel is incredibly energy-intensive. It requires melting sand at extremely high temperatures, over 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit, to create highly purified crystalline ingots. These ingots are then thinly sliced into wafers, a process that is both costly and wasteful. Furthermore, silicon panels are rigid, heavy, and fragile. You cannot bend them, fold them, or make them transparent. Their application is limited to flat, sturdy surfaces that can support their weight and bulk, which restricts where we can deploy them. More importantly, silicon has a fundamental limit on its efficiency. It can only absorb a specific portion of the light spectrum. Sunlight is made of many different colors or wavelengths of light, from high-energy blue light to lower-energy red light. Silicon is very good at capturing light in the infrared part of the spectrum, but it struggles to efficiently convert the higher-energy photons from the blue and green parts of sunlight into electricity. Much of that energy is simply lost as heat. This means that even the most advanced, expensive silicon panels can only convert about 23% of the sunlight that hits them into usable power. To power our entire world, we need something more. While we could simply cover more land with silicon panels, a far more elegant solution is to develop a technology that is more efficient, more versatile, and cheaper to produce. We need a material that can capture a broader range of the sun's light. We need a process that doesn't require such massive amounts of energy and cost. We need panels that are lightweight, flexible, and even see-through, so they can be integrated into every surface of our built environment, not just our roofs, but our windows, our vehicles, and even our clothing. The silicon era brought us far, but to complete the energy revolution, we must look beyond it. The next chapter in our solar story is being written with a new class of materials: perovskites. Unlike silicon, perovskite does not refer to a single element, but to a specific crystal structure. These materials are a scientific marvel, a kind of miracle material for solar energy. They were first discovered in the Ural Mountains of Russia in the 1830s, but only in the last decade have scientists unlocked their incredible potential for converting sunlight into electricity. This discovery marks the true beginning of Solar 3.0, a leap forward as significant as the invention of the first solar cell. So, what makes perovskites so special? It comes down to how they interact with light. While silicon struggles with high-energy photons, perovskites are exceptionally good at capturing them. They can be tuned by changing their chemical composition to absorb different parts of the solar spectrum. This leads to a remarkable idea: tandem solar cells. Imagine a solar panel with two layers. The top layer, made of a thin, transparent perovskite film, absorbs the high-energy blue and green light. The light it doesn't absorb passes through to a traditional silicon layer below, which then captures the lower-energy red and infrared light. This tandem approach shatters the efficiency limits of silicon alone. In laboratories, perovskite silicon tandem cells have already achieved efficiencies of over 33%, a number once thought to be a distant dream. This means a single panel can generate significantly more power from the same amount of sunlight. But the advantages don't stop there. Perovskite solar cells can be made from common, inexpensive materials. The manufacturing process is radically simpler and cheaper. Instead of high-temperature furnaces, perovskites can be synthesized at low temperatures and printed like ink onto flexible surfaces. This opens up a universe of possibilities. We can imagine solar cells that are thin, lightweight, and flexible enough to be rolled up like a newspaper. We can create semi-transparent solar cells that can be integrated into windows, turning entire skyscrapers into vertical power plants. These are not just incremental improvements, they are transformative. Perovskites represent a paradigm shift, moving solar technology from a heavy, rigid, and expensive manufacturing process to one that is light, adaptable, and far more accessible. This is the breakthrough we have been waiting for to truly unleash the power of the sun. A technological revolution, needs more than just a breakthrough in a lab. It needs a visionary to articulate its promise and drive it into the world. For the solar revolution, one of its most prominent champions is Elon Musk. His vision extends far beyond simply selling solar panels. He imagines a complete integrated ecosystem where humanity's energy needs are met sustainably and independently. This is not just about replacing a coal plant with a solar farm, it's about fundamentally re-architecting the way we generate, store and consume energy, from the individual home to the entire global grid. At the heart of this vision is the idea of the self-sufficient home. With products like the Tesla solar roof, Musk's goal is to make energy generation beautiful and honestly, almost invisible. Instead of bulky panels mounted on top of a roof, the roof itself becomes the power plant, with solar cells integrated directly into the shingles. This solar roof generates electricity during the day, powering the home and charging an electric vehicle in the garage. Any excess energy isn't lost, it's stored in a home battery system, like the Tesla Powerwall. This stored energy can then be used at night or during a power outage, creating a personal, resilient energy grid. This vision scales up from the individual home to entire communities and cities. Musk envisions a future powered by vast solar farms, coupled with utility-scale batteries to provide a steady, reliable flow of power around the clock. This combination solves the age-old problem of solar's intermittency, the fact that the sun doesn't shine at night. With massive battery storage, the abundant energy captured during the day can be saved and deployed whenever it's needed, ensuring that the lights stay on even after sunset. This creates a clean, stable, and resilient grid that is no longer dependent on the volatile prices and environmental costs of fossil fuels. Ultimately, Musk's mission is to accelerate the world's transition to a sustainable energy economy. He sees solar power not as an alternative energy source but as the primary logical solution to our planet's energy and climate challenges. His work in electric vehicles, battery technology, and solar energy are all interconnected pieces of a single grand plan to create a future where our technological civilization can thrive without destroying its planetary cradle. It is a bold, ambitious vision, one that seeks to harness the power of our star to secure the future of our species here on Earth, and perhaps one day, among the stars. A common concern raised about solar power is the amount of land it would require to power the entire world. People imagine endless landscapes from horizon to horizon, covered in a sea of black panels. It's a daunting image, but it's also a misconception based on outdated assumptions about efficiency. The reality is that the land footprint required for a fully solar-powered world is, honestly, surprisingly small. When we do the math, we find that the problem of space is not nearly as big as we might think, especially with the advent of new, more efficient technologies like perovskites. Let's look at the numbers. To power the entire United States, for example, using current silicon solar panels, you would need a square of land roughly 100 miles by 100 miles. That might sound like a lot, but the United States is a vast country. That area is less than the land currently used for oil and gas operations. It's a tiny fraction of the land we use for agriculture, and importantly, this land doesn't have to be a single, contiguous square. It can be distributed across millions of rooftops, parking lot canopies, and on arid, non-arable land that isn't being used for much else. This is where the efficiency of Solar 3.0 becomes a game changer. If perovskite silicon tandem cells can boost efficiency from around 20% to over 30%, that means we need roughly 1/3 less space to generate the same amount of power. Every percentage point gained in efficiency directly shrinks the land footprint required. A technology that is 33% efficient needs only 2/3 of the area that a 22% efficient technology needs. This makes the goal of a solar-powered future even more achievable and less intrusive on our landscapes. Furthermore, the versatility of perovskites opens up new surfaces for energy generation. We're no longer limited to rooftops and deserts. With transparent solar cells, every window in every office building and home can become a power generator. With flexible cells, the surfaces of vehicles, backpacks, and even clothing could contribute to the grid. This concept, known as agrivoltaics, even combines solar panels and agriculture on the same land, with panels providing shade that can help certain crops thrive in hot climates. The future of solar isn't about covering the planet in panels, it's about intelligently integrating power generation into the world we've already built. Every great technological leap faces its share of challenges, and the path for perovskites is, well, no different. While their potential is immense, there are significant hurdles to overcome before they can be deployed on a global scale. The primary challenge for perovskite solar cells is durability. Early versions of these cells were notoriously unstable. They degraded quickly when exposed to moisture, oxygen, heat, and even ultraviolet light from the very sun they were meant to capture. A solar panel that only lasts for a few months or a year is not a practical solution for the world's energy needs. Scientists and engineers are working tirelessly to solve this stability problem. They're experimenting with new chemical formulas and protective encapsulation layers to shield the delicate perovskite crystals from the elements. They're developing new materials that are inherently more robust, capable of withstanding the rigors of the real world for decades, just like silicon panels do today. Significant progress has been made, with some lab-scale perovskite cells now demonstrating stable operation for thousands of hours. However, proving this durability over a 20 to 30-year lifespan is a critical next step for commercial viability. Another major challenge is scaling up production. While perovskites are cheap and easy to make in a laboratory, manufacturing them consistently and reliably on a massive scale is a complex engineering problem. We need to build factories that can produce millions of square meters of high-quality, uniform perovskite films without defects. Any tiny imperfection can reduce the efficiency and lifespan of the panel. Developing these mass production techniques, ensuring quality control, and building out the global supply chain will require significant investment and industrial innovation. It's one thing to create a champion cell in a lab, it's another to produce a billion of them. Finally, there's the challenge of integrating this new technology into our existing energy infrastructure. A world powered by solar and other renewables requires a smarter, more flexible electrical grid. We need advanced grid management systems that can handle the fluctuating input from millions of distributed energy sources. We need to continue building out our energy storage capacity, from home batteries to utility-scale facilities, to ensure a smooth and reliable power supply. Solving these engineering, manufacturing, and logistical puzzles is the next great task in the journey toward a solar-powered future. The science is promising, but the engineering is where the revolution will truly be won. We find ourselves at a crossroads. One path leads us down the familiar road of the past, a road paved with finite resources and a changing climate. The other path, illuminated by the light of our star, leads to a brighter, cleaner, and more hopeful future. The rise of Solar 3.0, powered by revolutionary materials like perovskites, is not just a technological shift, it's an invitation to choose that better path. It's a chance for our civilization to align its energy needs with the natural abundant cycles of the cosmos, to finally live in harmony with our planetary home. The implications of this transition are, honestly, profound. For the individual, it means energy independence. It means a home that is no longer just a consumer of energy but a producer. It means lower electricity bills and protection from power outages. For our cities, it means cleaner air, quieter streets, and a more resilient infrastructure. Imagine skyscrapers that shimmer with power-generating windows and vast urban spaces shaded by solar canopies, all contributing to a clean, self-sustaining metropolis. This is a future where our technology enhances our environment rather than degrading it. On a global scale, the solar revolution promises a more equitable and peaceful world. Abundant, inexpensive solar energy can lift communities out of poverty, providing the power needed for clean water, education, and economic development. It can reduce the geopolitical tensions that have long been fueled by the world's dependence on oil and gas. When energy is as ubiquitous as sunlight, it ceases to be a primary source of conflict. It becomes a shared resource for all of humanity, a common inheritance from our star. The journey is not over. There are challenges to overcome and much work to be done. But for the first time in history, we have a clear line of sight to a truly sustainable global civilization. The science is sound, the technology is advancing at an incredible pace, and the will to change is growing around the world. We are the generation that has the privilege of witnessing and participating in this great energy transition. We are learning to harness the light, The future is not something that happens to us, it is something we build. And with the boundless power of the sun, we can build a future that is bright, clean, and full of promise for all who come after us.